Hello everybody, I am Sporkinator and this is Let's Play Ocarina of Time HD. Thank you for joining me on my journey through the Forest Temple. If we step forward, we encounter a couple of Wolfos, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, these are Wolfos. I believe we have seen these before as a child. Attack it when it drops its guard. Simple enough. We don't actually have to kill these, but I will because they're probably going to get in my way otherwise. So there's the first one down. And the second one. And killed. Alright, so with those guys out of our way, we're ready to look towards making our way up this way. Oh man, I remember in the Master Quest version of the game, this wall was covered in Skulltulas. Such is not the case in the original. So if we hookshot our way part way up here, it saves a little bit of climbing time, which is arguably pretty handy. And you can see that gold Skulltula right there. We're going to be getting that right now because we have the hookshot, and with the hookshot, getting things like this is extremely easy. As long as they're within range. There is actually a longer version of the hookshot in the game, but we won't be getting that until the Water Temple, unfortunately. So, there's nothing to do but to just, progress through the Forest Temple and see what we can find. There are many treasures hidden in this temple, notably the bow, which allows us to shoot arrows, but it's going to be a little while before we find that. Hopefully I can do this entire dungeon in one episode like I have done with the other ones. I hope it doesn't end up being too long, but that is what I am going for. To finish the temple, except for the boss, and then end off there, then fight the boss in the next episode, and then decide what I'm going to do next. I already have some things in mind, because there is the big Poe side quest on Hyrule Field. We have to go collect 10 big Poes later on, but we need the bow and arrow to do that. So I know I said you must clear the Forest Temple in order to do that. That's not true. You could actually get the bow and then leave the temple, but what would be the point, honestly? You'd still have to come back and complete the temple anyway, so naturally it makes more sense to clear the whole temple and then go do the side quest. Anyway, here we are in the main room of the dungeon. There were 4 flames, but they have vanished. Uh-oh. They've been stolen by the 4 Poe sisters, and I cannot remember their names. So, in order to find that out, I'm gonna have to identify each one of them as I fight them, because that's what we will be doing throughout this dungeon. We will be fighting all 4 of those Poes. Anyway, our first objective is to actually collect some small keys. As you could see, I got a small key in the very first room of the dungeon. That one is quite often overlooked by first-time players and sometimes experienced players who haven't played in a while. So yeah, this dungeon is far more tricky than anything we've played before, and honestly, in a way, this Forest Temple is a lot more tricky than even later dungeons in the game. I think this temple is a whole lot less linear than the Fire Temple. And the Water Temple is also kind of non-linear. So I think the Forest Temple and the Water Temple are arguably the trickiest dungeons in the game. So the fun is only just getting started. And by the way, if you have made it this far in the game, I'm checking for gold skulls with my hookshot, by the way. Anyway, if you've made it this far in the game and you're beginning the Forest Temple, congratulations! You've completed the tutorial. Now, since we got Bigoron's sword in the last episode, I'm going to use this to fight the Stalfos, because it does twice as much damage as the Master Sword. And if we attack quickly, we avoid taking damage ourselves, and we can usually just kill the Stalfos in but a few hits. And I've already lost 3 hearts, so if this was a 3-heart challenge, I would have just died and probably used a fairy. So yeah, oh wait, actually I lost 4 hearts. Wow, that's pretty bad. It's a good thing this is not a 3-heart challenge, because that would have been an epic failure. But anyway, once we have taken down the 2 Stalfos, we get a treasure chest, as we can see here, and what is inside? It's a small key! Yes, a small key! We have never actually seen these before until this dungeon, so yeah, this is kind of a new gameplay mechanic, I suppose, and there's a fairy hidden there, which refills our health. Very handy indeed. Unfortunately, this room appears to be a dead end, so we're gonna have to turn around and head straight back the way we came, it would seem. Ha! Gotcha. Those enemies are actually bubbles. I haven't identified them yet, but we'll be seeing more later, so sorry for forgetting. You know what? I could go back in here and do that real quick. Why not, right? Yes, this is a bubble. A blue bubble. Guard against its blue flame with your shield. And let's get out of here before it hits me. That was close. Anyway, if you're wearing headphones, you can clearly hear that there is a gold Skulltula to my left. Now, if I can hit it, we can collect that, and that's another one down. Once we have 50 of them, we can actually get a piece of heart from the House of Skulltula in Kakariko Village. So let's see how much progress we're making on that. Oh, we've got 48, and we'll probably be getting 3 more in this dungeon, so that should put us at 51. All bets are off, though, because I'm just going to collect all of them, and if it ends up not being 51, I'm okay with that, as long as I have all of them. Now, there is one more small key to collect before we progress, and I believe it is hidden behind this door. Navi, of course, notes that this is the same design that is on the Temple of Time. Or not the Temple of Time, the Door of Time, whatever. Anyway, just like we did before, previously, we want to play the Song of Time. Right A down, right A down. And when we do this, the block will of course vanish. We've seen this before in a previous episode, but in case you're just now tuning in, I thought I would let you know. Uh-oh. I think I have a texture glitch. I'm gonna make a save state and then restore it. One moment. Yeah, that seems to be a recurring thing. That texture was all wrong, and I think that happens every time I start the Forest Temple, but now that I've done the little trick, we should be good to go. Okay. We're gonna take down this enemy here, and get a Deku stick that we cannot use, or not, maybe not. Anyway, it's funny how Adult Link cannot use Deku sticks, but he collects quite a few of them if you kill those enemies. And before I kill all the Skulltulas, is this a waste of time? No, I think I am supposed to go this way, actually. It's actually been a little while since I've played the Forest Temple, so I'm having trouble remembering exactly how this temple works. But we should be fine. I will check the map as needed and stay on track. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I can reach that last Skulltula up there, so we're gonna have to bypass it using Metal Gear Solid skills, or stealth skills, or whatever you want to call such sneaking skills. Look at the way it's facing. It's currently facing upward. It's turning to the left, so it can't see me, and that's when we're allowed to climb up. If it's facing towards you, hold still and don't move, and then it will not see you, because obviously its vision is based on motion or something like that. Pow! So let's kill this blue bubble with our hookshot and sword. And wow, it seems we get another big chest. Or is this the... Actually, this is the... My bad. This is the first big chest of the dungeon. Wow, I said another big chest. I guess I'm thinking of the previous big chests from the other dungeons, but really, when it comes to the Forest Temple, this is the first one. And what do we have? It's the map. Sweet. That's one down, 2 big chests to go. The other one will contain the compass, and the last one should contain the bow and arrow. I can't remember what order we get them in, but that's what we do have to look for. Did I just go the wrong way? Wow. Fun fact, I think I should have just checked above the door, because I think that tells me which way to go. This door does not have a thing above it, so that's how we know which way to go, because we don't have the compass to tell us. Like I said, this is why I like collecting the compass, because it just really helps me not become disoriented while I'm going through all these dungeons. It's ridiculous how easy I become disoriented. But anyway, once we've knocked that guy out of our way, there's actually this thing up here, which is a hookshot target. We want to go ahead and aim for that to take us over here, and this is the only red switch in the game. All the other ones are blue or normal colored. The blue ones are toggles, so if I were to step on this again, the water would come back up. But there's no point in doing that because we never have to. We need the water down in order to progress. So we're just going to dive into the water here. Or something like that. And carefully avoid the enemies. And be on our way. I'm trying to figure out if I can get that Skulltula up there yet. I don't think I can, but you know what? I will try. Oh, crap, I went too far. I jumped off the edge. Come on, your mom. Climb back up. Yes, Link's name is your mom, by the way, in case you're just now tuning in. That's the joke, and I think it's become unfunny to me. I think I wore out the joke. But that's okay. It's still going to be a darn good playthrough. Oh, wow. What is in this chest? I am just dying to know. Nothing important at all. So, we have a recovery heart there. Which I probably should have only gotten if I had taken damage, but how was I supposed to know there was a recovery heart in there? I mean, yeah, I know I played the game before, but I couldn't remember what was in that chest. But anyway, that is another gold Skulltula for us. I'm glad I tried to get that instead of waiting until later, because it probably would have been more annoying to get later. I don't know. But there is a ladder here, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use the trick where I roll to avoid taking damage. And we're going to head through the bottom of... I guess this is kind of like a well. It's the bottom of this well, but there is another area in the game called the bottom of the well, and I don't want to cause confusion, but yeah, the bottom of this well in the Forest Temple, and at the end of this excessively long hallway, we have a chest containing a small key. Now that we have 3 small keys, we are allowed to progress further. If you do not have 3 small keys, get 3 small keys. You're going to want to collect all 3 small keys before you unlock any doors at all. So that is what we're going to be doing next. Okay, can I just... Thank you. I know I took damage, but at this point, it's inconsequential, really, because I have so much health. I've been collecting heart pieces throughout this playthrough, so I think I'm good, even if I get hit a few times. So now, as you can see, we are back in the main room, and I don't know, I didn't point this out, but there is a locked door up here. So this is where we're going to go next and use our first out of 3 small keys that we have collected so far. So we head on through the door and we find ourselves, what, in another hallway? With a boring Skulltula, just... You don't even have to wait for these guys to turn around. The hook shot will just pierce right through whatever defense they think they have. Oh, I'm back at full health. That's always nice. No complaints there. What awaits us in here? Death and torture everywhere? No, not really. Just a bubble to get rid of. Okay. Now, I think in the Master Quest there was a Skulltula behind here, and I guess I've played the Master Quest enough times to make a habit out of always checking this area, even though there's nothing here. So, we don't want to go there. We want to use these ladders to make our way upwards. Oh, I hear more bubbles flying around. I don't know why they're called bubbles. They're really just floating skulls with fire around them. Blue fire, I guess. Can that blue fire melt ice? Like, you'd think you could catch that blue fire in your bottle, but you actually can't. And Navi notes that there are arrows painted on the floor. Thanks for giving away the entire puzzle, Navi. Honestly, though, Navi, all in all, is pretty helpful to a first-time player. She at least gives you vague hints that don't make you wander around wondering what the heck you're supposed to do. Maybe. Depends on how good you are at interpreting said hints. But anyway, we want to push this block all the way until it locks into place. This is going to take a while. I don't know why they couldn't make this go any faster, but... Oh, okay, that's as far as it's going to go. I guess it's not locking into place quite yet. There is a ladder here, make note of that. We're going to need that ladder later, but not yet. So we want to head around this way. And here we have the other side of the block we just pushed, and we can now push it all the way, because Link can't just grab a block and push it sideways. He has to go either forwards or backwards. So now that we have that taken care of, we can go ahead and climb on top of this and see what awaits us even further up in this multi-floored dungeon. And by the way, I'd like to go ahead and check out the dungeon map just to give you a general idea of the layout. So let's start at Basement 2, which I guess we haven't been to yet. Where did we enter? I guess we entered on the first floor. That's the main room. So if you see here, the layout is kind of like a spider in a way. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, that's the dungeon map for you. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. I just climbed up this way, so I want to make sure I go the right way. Okay, there are arrows on the floor again, and another block to pull and push again. And obviously this is where we need it to go, and man, did this puzzle confuse the heck out of me the first time around. I don't know why, it's really not that difficult, it's just a little bit tedious. So we're going to want to pull this as far as we can. I guess that's it. And then we're going to have to head back down and around. Now we're going to need that ladder that we made note of, this one right here. So let's go ahead and climb up this. And this should allow us to get on the other side of that block, or something like it. I think if you actually hit this switch, you get arrows, but you cannot activate eyeball switches like that with the hook shot. You need either the slingshot or the bow and arrow. And since Adult Link, how conveniently, cannot use the slingshot, we obviously need the bow. So we can only push that a little bit, so we did need to do that, though. So now that we push that block a little bit further, I can either climb back down or jump down. I think jumping down actually saves time. So now we want to head back again. Like I said, this is slightly tedious, but kind of a well-thought-out puzzle in my opinion. So we want to make our way back up and around to this block again. Now we can finally push it all the way to its destination and make our way even further up. Isn't this fun? Honestly, block pushing's not my favorite thing, so I'm kind of pretending it's fun. I'm sorry. I really try to be a real person while I'm playing the game and not pretend everything is fun, because let's be honest, not everything is fun. But in general, this is a very fun game, and like I've said in the past 2 episodes, I think, this is not the best game ever. It's a very good game, but not the best. I refuse to just go with the herd mentality that this game is the absolute greatest thing ever to happen. Sure, it was an innovation. It was the very first Zelda title in 3D, but it's not the best game ever. I'm sorry. It's just not true. Anyway, we probably want to clear these bubbles out of our way. This is actually optional. Alright, fine. We'll do it this way. Oh, that doesn't work? I thought a spin attack would work for sure. You. Die. Thank you. And like I said, we cannot activate eyeball switches with the hookshot, so for now, we're just gonna head on through. Look at this hallway, it's all twisted. Oh, and Navi says so too, the corridor is all twisted. Fascinating, Navi. Now this is really trippy. Look at the way, when I step backwards like this, you could see it twisting. I don't know how they code this stuff when it comes to video game programming. It must have been complicated. I'm not even sure, but yeah, this room is so trippy. I love the twisted hallway thing. That's definitely my favorite thing about the Forest Temple. And Navi warns us to watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling. Yes, because if one of those grabs us, we will be transported back to the beginning of the dungeon, and we do not want that. So, let's see what awaits us on the other side of this door. Like I said, you need 3 small keys in order to progress this far, so if you don't have 3 keys, you're gonna be mad and have to go backtrack to get the last one. That's why you need to collect 3 small keys, all in one go if you want to do this efficiently. So we saw that there's Poes hiding in the paintings, but take my word for it, there's nothing we can do just yet. We actually need the bow and arrow to take care of that. So here we have another fight with 2 more Stalfos. I suppose I should identify these. I don't think I did that yet. Stalfos, lure it close to you and watch it. Oh, I did identify these. I remember saying it attacking when it drops its guard. Or was that the Wolfos? Anyway, I have now identified the Stalfos. Cool, cool. I think we can just berserk these guys. This is what I did in my original playthrough. Is just attack aggressively and never let up. Wait, were there 2 or just 1? Oh, there was just 1 Stalfos. Never mind. But now we have 2 more. And if I remember right, after we kill the first one, we have to immediately kill the second one, otherwise the first one will come back to life, if I remember correctly. And I am really doing a bad job fighting these. Look how much damage I'm taking. I don't know if I'm just not being careful, or if I'm too busy talking. That's always a thing that happens. I did so much better in my 3-heart challenge, which is also my original playthrough, but anyway, once we take them both down, we get another big chest, and I know this is the bow and arrow, because if it were the compass, we'd be stuck at this point. We really need the bow in order to progress. But before I open that chest, I'm going to see if I can refill my health. One of these contains a fairy, right? I think it does. Oh, I was expecting that to be a fairy, and if it was, I was going to put it in a bottle. Okay, so I guess there are no fairies in here, but I got all the hearts I needed, so that's all good. So let's go ahead and open this chest, and I'm pretty sure this is the bow. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Oh, it is the bow! Great! We found the fairy bow. Cool! We finally have what we need in order to progress further. And it works exactly the same as the slingshot. Hold down the button and shoot, basically. And aim with the control stick, naturally.